Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Battle Through the Heavens Part 258 based on novel. So let's start. Bright firelight shone on this space, which seemed to have been in darkness for 10,000 years. However, Xiao Yan involuntarily felt a chill over his body despite the light from the flame. The source of this chill seemed to be the enormous creature that was present in the dark space below. It was an indescribably huge creature that lay within the dark empty space without moving. Xiao Yan's sight shifted along its body. However, he was still unable to see and enter its body when his sight was blocked by the darkness in the distance. This mysterious creature was completely purple-gold in color. Icy cold scales covered its body. A kind of hard steel-like feeling rose from it. Xiao Yan was floated in the empty space. His eyes were unable to see the creature in its entirety. One could imagine just how unbelievably large this creature was. It was the first time that Xiao Yan had seen a body of this size after all these years. Even though his decades of experience had allowed Xiao Yan to maintain a great control of himself, he still felt greatly shocked when he suddenly discovered that there was actually such a huge creature which could devour the sky, present in the dark space under him. Who could have imagined that there would actually be such a terrifying creature existing within this quiet space, which appeared to be void of life? Xiao Yan's throat rolled involuntarily. Traces of cold sweat had even appeared on his forehead. He carefully observed the huge creature sitting below. Even with his eyesight, he was unable to guess just what kind of creature it was. I must not remain in this place. Since he had already learned that the bottom of the magma world did indeed hide the ancient god cave, Xiao Yan had also intended to withdraw. Although that huge creature below was completely quiet and appeared dead, his D-state soul allowed Xiao Yan to detect a trace of dangerous aura. This kind of aura was not inferior to that of Han Qiandi or Yuan. It was best not to remain in this place for long. The most appropriate course of action was to gather his people and get Yuan to accompany him to probe this ancient god mansion. Xiao Yan's body slowly pulled back as this thought flashed across his heart. However, he had only just taken 10 steps back when he suddenly sensed that the huge creature's body below him shook slightly. Although this movement was slight, it still caused Xiao Yan's eyes to shrink. He understood that with his strength, he was definitely not mistaken. In that case, there was only one answer. This mysterious creature was still alive. Xiao Yan's retreating speed suddenly soared the moment he thought of this. A pair of huge eyes within the dark empty space, which had been shut for a long time, were suddenly opened when Xiao Yan had begun to pull back. This pair of eyes had a faint redness in them. Those eyes were solemn. Just the size of this pair of eyes was already hundreds of times larger than Xiao Yan. This pair of eyes were locked onto Xiao Yan the moment they had opened. At the same time, an extremely terrifying pressure directly enveloped Xiao Yan's body, causing his retreating speed to suddenly slow. Xiao Yan's expression changed after that terrifying pressure enveloped his body. He activated his D-state soul. Only then did he manage to reduce this feeling of having fallen into a quagmire. Tomb Raider, did you bring the ancient jade? The space suddenly shook as Xiao Yan's spiritual strength surged. A voice, which caused even the space to tremble, suddenly sounded. Xiao Yan tightened his fist. He looked at the pair of huge eyes within the darkness. At this moment, those eyes contained an icy chill as they stared at him in an indifferent fashion. There was no fluctuation within it. I have accidentally barged into this place. Please forgive me if I have disturbed it. I will immediately withdraw. Xiao Yan cupped his hands together towards the eyes and spoke in a deep voice. No ancient jade her. A voice sounded within the space after the creature heard this. Immediately, Xiao Yan seemed to have seen some disappointment and an icy cold murderous intent. This is bad. Xiao Yan's expression changed drastically upon detecting this emotion. He could not be bothered with anything else. The purifying demonic lotus flame covered his body and a pair of bone wings was extended from his back. After which, he hurriedly withdrew. Please remain behind if you do not have it, the indifferent voice once again sounded. after which, the entire space suddenly shook. Bright purple gold light pillars broke through the darkness. It penetrated through the empty space and ruthlessly shot towards Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan's eyes became cold after he saw that mysterious creature unleashing an attack. His hand seal changed and his enormous spiritual body appeared outside. He widened his mouth and a terrifying spiritual assault swept over from all directions. In an instant, it ruthlessly collided with the purple golden light pillar. Boom! A storm exploded within the space as the loud sound appeared. The storm swept over the place but the purple light still remained. Xiao Yan's D-state soul's yellow spring divine anger was unable to shatter it. His eyes quickly became even more solemn. With a change of his hand seal, another two ferocious spiritual fluctuations surged out from him. Bang bang! Two spiritual sonic wave attack heavily smashed onto the purple light. This time around, the purple light was finally shattered. However, Xiao Yan also staggered backwards by 10,000 feet because of the lingering force. What a terrifying strength this big fellow has! Shock surged within Xiao Yan's heart after this exchange. Just a random attack had forced Xiao Yan to use all his strength to block it. The strength of this mysterious creature was definitely not inferior to Han Qiandi or Gu Yuan. D-state soul, the mysterious creature's voice within the empty darkness contained a little surprise. Xiao Yan did not have the time to bother about him. He took advantage of the force to once again rush to the exit of this realm. While Xiao Yan was rushing with rapid speed, another sharp wind suddenly surged from behind him. The corner of his eyes shifted and he saw a purple gold light flashed. It actually agglomerated into a mysterious light seal. After which, it came smashing furiously onto Xiao Yan. Damn it! Xiao Yan's expression was once again altered as he sensed the terrifying strength contained within the light seal. He clenched his fists. Two six-colored extermination fire lotus were formed. After which, he threw them behind him without turning his head. Bang bang! The extermination fire lotus exploded on the light seal. Fire wave churned. However, he did not cause the light seal to shake. Immediately, a ray of light suddenly shot out from within the light seal and headed towards Xiao Yan with lightning-like speed. Xiao Yan was cautious when the light ray shot out. He hurriedly turned around. Both of his hands danced and the purifying demonic fire lotus quickly turned into pink crystals in front of him. Crack crack! The light ray arrived in the blink of an eye. It directly smashed onto the layers of pink fire crystal. Those crystals quickly collapsed an inch at a time. The light ray seemed to have an extremely easy time destroying those originally extremely hard fire crystals. After which, it heavily smashed onto Xiao Yan's body. Xiao Yan's face turned red after suffering this heavy attack. A mouthful of fresh blood was spat out while his body once again used the momentum to withdraw. Xiao Yan's blood dyed the light seal a short distance away. It emitted waves of sizzling sound. Stay behind and accompany me. The mysterious creature did not intend to allow Xiao Yan to escape after defeating him with a single strike. The light seal whistled and once again chased after Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan quietly cried out bitterly after he sensed the wind that was locked onto him. It was far too troublesome to deal with this fellow. He lifted his head and looked at the wiggling space in the distance. After exiting that place, he would be able to escape from this fellow. Although you possess a D-state soul, your body is merely at the 7-star Doshan class. Would it not be a joke if I allow you to escape? The space above Xiao Yan's head suddenly shook while Xiao Yan was feeling a slight joy because of his short distance to the exit. Light directly broke through the space. After which, it violently smashed onto Xiao Yan. From the looks of it, if Xiao Yan was struck by it, he would definitely end up with some injuries. However, when the light seal was about to smash downwards, the blood, which adhered onto it, suddenly vaporized. Finally, a trace of golden blood remained behind and flowed along the light seal. The moment this golden blood appeared, the huge body of the mysterious creature that was lingering within the darkness suddenly trembled. A familiar feeling broke through the restraint from his slumber and spread through his body. The light seal suddenly halted when it was still dozens of feet from Xiao Yan's head. However, that intense wind pressure still caused the space around Xiao Yang to explode. This sudden scene had also caused Xiao Yang, who was planning on an all-out fight, to be startled. His eyes flashed and his body turned into a ray of light that shot out. With a couple of flashes, he had appeared at the edge of the space. His body moved. He swiftly rushed in and disappeared. The light seal did not give chase after Xiao Yang had left and disappeared. The pair of huge eyes within the darkness contained a loss that seemed to last for a long time as they stared at the remaining golden blood on the light seal. The light seal drifted and slowly arrived above the huge eye. Golden blood dripped down and landed in the huge eye. Soon after, the lost expression in his eyes swiftly disappeared. Those cold and indifferent large eyes actually revealed waves after waves of joyous ripple. Blood, there is the scent of the child. Suddenly, an earth-shaking like stern roar resounded within the quiet space. That huge body, which seemed to have been stilled for thousands of years, suddenly moved and ruthlessly smashed onto the space. However, a faint light surfaced over this realm in the face of its all-out attack. This faint light caused the space itself to be as tough as a prison. Jushi, ancient god, you bastard! The mysterious creature suddenly turned its head after its futile collision onto the space around him. Those huge eyes stared ruthlessly at the ancient stone door floating in the air. A furious roar that was filled with an unwilling feeling reverberated across this space. However, the ancient stone door remained quiet in the face of its furious roar. It was as though it had remained unchanging since the ancient times. Bang! The sound of magma exploding suddenly resounded across the tunnel that led to the underground magma world at the bottom of the blazing Sky Chi refining tower. Immediately, a somewhat miserable figure charged out from the magma in front of the stunned gazes of Zana's group. Xiao Yang Gege. Zana hurried forward. Her expression changed drastically upon seeing that figure. I'm fine. Xiao Yang's body flashed and landed. He wiped off the trace of blood remaining on the corner of his mouth. Those eyes of his were solemn as they looked at the magma tunnel. He involuntarily clenched his fist. It was unexpected that there was actually such a terrifying existence at the bottom of the magma. What happened? Su Qian, Mang Qiankai and the rest exclaimed. They were also startled by this appearance of Xiao Yang. All of them were clearly aware of Xiao Yang's strength. Yet, even he was turned into such a miserable state. Just what kind of terrifying thing was at the bottom of the magma? Old Mang, inform clan head Gu Yuan and the rest that the news is confirmed. Xiao Yang spoke in a deep voice with a solemn expression. Mang Qiankai's face twitched violently upon hearing this. His heart involuntarily pounded violently. He understood the importance of this matter. Immediately, he did not dare to slight the situation as he directly turned around and hurriedly left to inform Gu Yuan and the others of this new information. The ancient god mansion is really located at the bottom of the magma? Kaylin was a little startled as she looked at the magma tunnel and asked. After all, she had stayed inside it for a period of time back then. Yet, she did not sense anything. I? Xiao Yang nodded. He immediately gave a summary about what had occurred at the bottom of the magma. Zana and the rest involuntarily had a drastic change in expression after they heard that there was a mysterious creature comparable to Ji Yuan and Han Qiandi in the realm at the bottom of the lake. Fortunately, that mysterious creature appears to be unable to leave that realm. Otherwise, there will likely be big trouble today. Xiao Yan laughed bitterly and rejoiced a little as he spoke. Based on the strength that the big fellow had displayed, it was likely that no one present would be able to subdue it if it charged out. Next, let's wait for the Alliance army to arrive. If we allow the Han clan to succeed this time around, it is likely that there will no longer be any opportunity for us to turn things around. Xiao Yang sighed softly. If Han Qiandi was allowed to obtain the embryonic D pill, he might really end up breaking through to the Do D class. At that time, no one in this world would be able to fight him. Even the Alliance army would not be able to do so. Zana and the rest nodded upon hearing this. This was all they could do for now. The main hall within the Han realm. Did you say that your mission has failed? Han Qiandi sat on the leader's seat and looked at the trembling kneeling figure below with narrowed eyes as he demanded in a faint voice. Yes, for some unknown reason, our trail had been detected by Xiao Yan's group. Han Yu and the others had been chased by Xiao Yan's group soon after they arrived at the Black Corner region. All of them had perished in the hands of Xiao Yan's group. The figure below was covered with cold sweat. However, his words were still quite clear. How is it possible for Xiao Yan to know of their whereabouts? Han Qiandi's expression sunk as he demanded. Clan head, Xiao Yan was once a student of the Jianan Academy in the Black Corner region. I'm afraid that it is because the academy had detected danger and had requested his help. I do not think that he is aware of our intention. That person hurriedly said. Humph, that brat is as sly as a fox. Who knows just what he is thinking? Moreover, if it is not because he had detected something prior to this, how would he be able to arrive in time even if the academy did send a message requesting for help? The nihility devouring flame by the side snorted coldly. Those bowing figures below widened their mouths upon hearing this. However, all of them voiced their agreement. You mean, could it be that Xiao Yan is also aware of the information that the ancient god mansion is located in the Black Corner region? Han Qiandi frowned and asked. This was information that they had managed to learn after spending great effort to gather all the ancient jade. How could Xiao Yan directly learn of it? We cannot exclude this possibility. Didn't that fellow roam the Black Corner region before? Who knows what he had detected? Black flame surged within the eyes of the nihility devouring flame. He spoke in a deep voice, regardless of whether he had detected anything, it is also time for us to move. Otherwise, it would be a severe blow to us if any trouble occurs. Any delay might result in unexpected changes. Han Qiandi mused for a moment before nodding. Clearly, news of Xiao Yan's appearance in the Black Corner region had caused him to feel an unease. What about that Jiyu Yuan? The nihility devouring flame said. Recently, Jiyu Yuan had been monitoring the Han clan's realm. He would definitely detect something if a large group of experts was dispatched from this place. I have already got someone to build a wormhole at the northwestern region which connects to the Han realm. At that time, you will intervene and lead a group to the Black Corner region. I will delay Jiyu Yuan. Han Qiandi spoke in a faint voice. I? The nihility devouring flame hesitated for a moment upon hearing this. Finally, he nodded. As long as I am able to obtain the embryonic D-pill within the ancient god mansion, the so-called Alliance army will be nothing but ants. Han Qiandi lifted his head. He looked at the top of the large hall. An icy cold smile surfaced on his face as he softly spoke to himself. Jiyu Yuan sat on a stone tower at the top of the star realm. Vast and mighty spiritual fluctuation rippled around him, causing the stone tower to be filled with a terrifying pressure. Other than a handful of people, no one else dared to approach the area within 1,000 feet from the stone tower in the face of this pressure. Jiyu Yuan's expression was as deep as water as he sat at the top of the stone tower. Both of his eyes were shut. The vast and endless spiritual strength entered into the empty space. It probed deep into the location where the Han realm was located using a mysterious method. After which, traces of spiritual strength entwined around the place. In this way, he was able to detect any slight fluctuation in the space around that place. The empty space suddenly began to fluctuate intensely while Jiyu Yuan continued to probe. Immediately, it turned into a human figure that stood with his hands behind him. Jiyu Yuan, who was at a stone tower a great distance away, suddenly opened his eyes when the human figure appeared. Immediately, he let out a cold snort. His body moved and disappeared. He was already in front of that figure the next time he appeared. Han Qiandi. A cold glint flashed across Jiyu Yuan's eyes as he looked at the white-clothed, seemingly refined man in front of him. Of the four of us back then, only the two of us are left. This world is indeed ever-changing. Han Qiandi looked at Jiyu Yuan. He smiled faintly and remarked. The fall of the other two is greatly related to you. Jiyu Yuan laughed coldly. Han Qiandi was non-committal. He looked at Gu Yuan before he suddenly said, "If you are willing to cooperate with me, I will definitely help you once I advance into the Do D class in the future." Gu Yuan was startled. He did not expect that Han Qiandi would actually try to recruit him. However, he quickly smiled and asked, "Do you think that is possible?" "How unfortunate. You are one of the few people who I hold in high regard." Han Qiandi shook his head in disappointment, seemingly aware of Gu Yuan's answer. He lifted his head and looked at the empty space before he suddenly muttered, "It is rumored that an elite Do D is almighty. But why is it that those elite Do D from back then had completely disappeared?" Gu Yuan frowned tightly but did not reply. "These answers would likely be revealed once I advance to the Do D class." Han Qiandi stared at the endless empty space. There was a strange luster flashing past them. He immediately turned towards Gu Yuan and laughed, "This world will not be able to restrain me." His words was wild and proud. However, there was also a monstrous aura surging from it. Even Gu Yuan had not laughed at these words. This was because he understood that this opponent whom he had fought secretly for thousands of years, did indeed possess the boldness and potential to utter these words. "You are planning to delay me, right?" Gu Yuan stared at Han Qiandi. Given his intelligence, he naturally saw through the reason why the latter did not attack. Since this was the case, it was obvious that the other party had only one intention. It was to hold him back. Han Qiandi laughed upon hearing this. He calculated the time and smilingly said, "It is about time. The ancient god mansion is at the Black Corner region, right?" Gu Yuan narrowed his eyes and said. The smile on Han Qiandi's face stiffened when these words were spoken. It quickly disappeared as he replied, "You are indeed aware of it." Han Qiandi did not hide anything. This was because he understood that since Gu Yuan had uttered those words, the latter definitely understood the situation quite well. Otherwise, it would only be a wasted effort. "It seems that the heavens is not helping you." Gu Yuan laughed. "We will soon find out just who will lose." Han Qiandi spread his hands. He paused for a moment before asking, "Is it because of Xiao Yan?" He was naturally asking about why Gu Yuan was aware of the location of the ancient god mansion. Gu Yuan smiled. He neither admitted nor denied it. "He is really a Scrooge." Han Qiandi involuntarily shook his head. His heart felt an unknown feeling. Who could have imagined that the declined Xiao clan would actually produce such a person? Even his Han clan had suffered many losses in his hand. Now, even the ancient god mansion was first detected by Xiao Yan. It is all because of that group of fools who had been hiding some information, Han Qiandi sighed softly. If it was not because Xiao Yan had gradually stood out in the central plains, it was likely that he would still be unaware that the latter had actually escaped from the many attacks by the Han clan. By the time he had learnt of all these, the youth from back then had already spread his wings. Due to the many schemes taking place, he also did not have the time to bother about him. Who could have expected that this small mistake would actually end up creating such a big trouble for them? "You will end up suffering if you underestimate him," Gu Yuan smiled. He was quiet for a moment before he said, "He will perhaps be even more outstanding than Xiao Yan." "Oh." Han Qiandi lifted his brow. He smiled faintly and said, "It seems your evaluation is quite high. However, since my Han clan is able to kill the first Xiao Yan, we will naturally be able to kill the second one. Gu Yuan, now, let's head to the Black Corner region and have a look." The space around Han Qiandi was slowly distorted. His body gradually vanished. A cold glint flashed across Gu Yuan's eyes as he looked at Han Qiandi, who had disappeared. His body flashed and he directly appeared within the meeting room of the Star Realm. He looked at Lei Ying and the others before waving his hand and ordered in a deep voice, "The Alliance will head to the Black Corner region. This time around, we must definitely stop the Han clan." Jianan Academy. Many students came and went along a big road with trees lined by the side. The energy unique to the young men and women spread across the forest. They were completely unaware of the big battle that was about to arrive. Hence, they did not panic. Their conversations were all related to the scene when Xiao Yan had appeared back then. The tone they used was filled with admiration and excitement. Xiao Yan was lying on a tall tree in his rare relaxed moment. He looked at the azure sky while his mouth was chewing onto a grass which gradually filled it with some bitterness. It had been many years since he was able to quietly lie in the academy and watch the sky. It has been many years. Xiao Yan shut his eyes and involuntarily sighed quietly. Now that he thought about it, the scene of his training within this Jianan Academy back then was still fresh in his mind. Yet, in the blink of an eye, he was already no longer the youth from back then. It has indeed been many years. A soft voice was suddenly transmitted from beside Xiao Yan's ears. He opened his eyes and looked at the pretty instructor, who had a pair of long sexy legs beside him. A grin appeared and the corner of his mouth involuntarily revealed a teasing smile. What beautiful legs! Xiao Yu's face involuntarily reddened upon hearing this. She glared violently at Xiao Yan and chided. You are already so old but you still don't know how to be serious. The corner of Xiao Yan's mouth wore a smile. Both of his hands were placed behind his head. He did not say anything. This quiet atmosphere was something that he really liked. During these years, he had been pressured by the Hall of Soul and the Hun clan to the point where he could hardly catch his breath. This was because he understood that only by continuously training would he be able to escape from the fate of being shattered into pieces by that huge mountain. Moreover, the moment that he was destroyed, his family and clan would also end up with the same fate. The big battle was arriving. Xiao Yan understood that this might probably be a decisive battle. However, it was precisely because of this that his originally tensed heart had relaxed significantly. He had done all that he could do. He had also put in the greatest effort to strengthen himself. Now, it was time to await the result. Xiao Yu sat down elegantly beside Xiao Yan. She turned her head and looked at the face with narrowed eyes. This face appeared even more mature and determined compared to back then. The original tenderness had vaguely developed into another charm. It was a face that one could watch for a long time. Xiao Yu curled her red lips. She had seen many young and talented individuals during these years that she had spent teaching in the academy. There were many amongst them who had begun a wild pursuit of her. However, all of them ultimately failed. This was because she would always shake her head each time she compared those people to this person in front of her. After all these years of training, she understood just how outstanding and dazzling this man in front of her was. It would be good if we are not blood-related. At times, some strange thoughts would appear within Xiao Yu's heart, causing her face and ears to redden while she repeatedly scolded herself for being shameless in her heart. Are you thinking of romance? Xiao Yan had opened his eyes at some unknown moment. He looked at the pretty female instructor by the side, who was biting her red lips, and smilingly asked. That's right, Xiao Yu's bright eyes blinked this time around as she smiled sweetly. This reply caused Xiao Yan to be startled. Under normal circumstances, Xiao Yu should have sent him a flying kick. He lifted his gaze and looked at Xiao Yu's pretty eyes. There was something flowing in them. Immediately, coughed softly and withdrew his gaze. Xiao Yu's silver teeth bit on her red lips with a greater force after seeing Xiao Yan withdraw his gaze. After which, the ripple within her was gradually reduced. She stared at Xiao Yan and softly said, "Thank you." Xiao Yan was once again startled. He immediately laughed. "You seems to be quite baffling. This is the words that the clan members has asked me to bring to you the last time I returned to the Jomar Empire." Xiao Yu laughed. Xiao Yan was a little stunned. The smile on the corner of his mouth became much warmer. Currently, those younger generation and even some of the older generation of the Xiao clan regards you like a god. Other people can scold them, but if those people dared to say anything about you, they will definitely attack. There has been many clan members who had charged into various sects by themselves because of this. Xiao Yu laughed. Her soft voice appeared as though she was talking about an ordinary family matter. It was exceptionally warm. This god of theirs was called a useless trash back then. Xiao Yan parted his mouth and laughed. Petty fellow. That was something from when all of us were very young, yet you still remember it. Xiao Yu rolled her enchanting eyes at Xiao Yan and said. Xiao Yan laughed. He continued, hearing Xiao Yu softly speaking about the matters in the clan while looking at the azure sky. He had not had such an enjoyment for many years. Xiao Yu and Xiao Mai had returned to the Jiuman Empire a few years ago. It is rumored that they are now experts who can hold their own. Some years ago, the clan had wanted to choose a clan head. However, no matter how they chose, all of the ballots had your name on them, causing those elders be unable to laugh nor cry. Xiao Yu spoke softly. A moment later, she finally paused and looked at the man beside her, who had his eyes shut. The latter's breathing was also a lot calmer. At this moment, Xiao Yang was as quiet as a baby. Xiao Yang had slept. Even Xiao Yu was startled after seeing Xiao Yang's current condition. Some pity appeared in her eyes. Her hand carefully shifted Xiao Yang's head and placed them on her soft legs. She lowered her head and watched his face. The smile on the corner of her mouth appeared extremely gentle. The members of the clan are aware of how much you have sacrificed. You have been carrying the heavy burden alone. In order to protect the clan, you have been working hard while risking your life. Ha ha, many little fellows in the clan are doing their best to train. They had said that they will be able to help you after becoming stronger. Dense branches spread over the towering giant tree as a gentle breeze blew over. Xiao Yu gently exhaled a fragrant breath. She looked at the quiet face. Her hand was about to gently touch it when Xiao Yang's originally tightly shut eyes were suddenly opened. The original silence quickly scattered the moment the black eyes were opened. A sharpness that caused one's soul to tremble once again surfaced within those black eyes. Xiao Yu was startled as she looked at the face, which had turned from a peaceful to a sharp one in an instant. Her hand was placed down without anyone noticing as she sweetly smiled. "Are you awake?" "I?" Xiao Yang nodded slightly. He stood up and looked towards the distant sky before commenting in a faint voice, "They are here." Xiao Yu was startled upon hearing this. Due to her relationship with Xiao Yang, she was aware of some secrets. Naturally, she understood who that Xiao Yang referred to were. "They are too quick," Xiao Yu frowned and remarked. "Inform First Elder. Gather all the students together. Otherwise, they won't be able to endure it once the fight begins." Xiao Yang instructed in a deep voice. "Understood." Xiao Yu quickly nodded. Her delicate body moved and she opened her stride. Xiao Yang hesitated for a moment before he once again said, "Thank you very much, Sister Xiao Yu." Xiao Yu was startled after hearing this form of address. This was the first time that Xiao Yang had ever called her sister. The two of them had been odds with each other since they were young and had continuously argued with each other each time they met. "Ha ha, obedient little brother. This older sister is waiting to see you display your heroic might," Xiao Yu suddenly laughed. She quickly flew downwards. Those eyes of hers were a little dim when she turned around. They were brother and sister. Xiao Yang stood on the top of a tree with his hands placed behind him. He glanced at Xiao Yu's descending figure only to sigh. He was not a fool and was naturally able to clearly see through many matters. However, it was perhaps very difficult for there to be any result when it came to certain matters. Xiao Yang shook his head and tossed aside the melancholy within his heart. After which, his eyes solemnly looked towards the horizon. He could detect an intense energy fluctuation from that spot. This fluctuation was not unfamiliar to him. A couple of figures flashed and appeared while Xiao Yang was in deep thought. They were Zun Er's and Kaylin's group. "The Hun clan is coming." The two ladies looked at the sky and asked. Xiao Yang nodded. He lowered his head to look at the academy. At this moment, all the instructors in the academy were leading the students to gather at an open ground. An anxious atmosphere enveloped this place. "Everyone, be careful during this battle." Xiao Yang looked at Zun and Kaylin beside him and softly reminded. "You too." The two ladies nodded gently. Xiao Yang smiled and suddenly stepped forward. He extended his hand and hugged Zun and Cai Lin in front of their red faces. He softly said, "If we can succeed in solving this matter, we will organize a grand wedding." "I?" An embarrassed and joyous expression surged in the eyes of those two ladies as they nodded. A warmth was felt as he hugged the two ladies. Xiao Yan hurried down the large tree and appeared on the open ground. He waved his hand and a huge crack appeared in the space. The crack led to the heavenly tomb. First Elder, relax, I have already instructed the creatures inside. They will not harm the students. Xiao Yan opened the tunnel, looked at Su Qian and said, Little fellow, thank you very much. Su Qian nodded. He gave Xiao Yan a deep bow and did not dare delay. With great speed, he directly rushed into the spatial tunnel. Densely packed students surged in like flood waters. Xiao Yan once again rose into the air after the students entered the heavenly tomb. He looked at the distance. After which, the black cloud swiftly flew over with lightning-like speed. A monstrous-like aura spread across the black cloud. Xiao Yan let out a long breath and clenched his fist as he looked at the earth shaking like memento. The Alliance army has arrived. Xiao Yan exhaled. He suddenly turned his eyes towards the northern sky. The space at that spot shook intensely and many figures appeared from all over the place. It cut through the distant space, carrying a rushing wind sound that resounded in the sky as they hurried towards the Jiannan Academy. A pride suddenly surged in Xiao Yan's heart as he looked at the formation that spread across the sky. He let out a long roar towards the sky. The roar was like a thunder which rumbled across the sky. It could clearly be heard within a 50-kilometer radius. Hun Clan, if you wish to fight, I will fight until your fill. This video will end here.